Welcome back, Kleschka crew, to week 17 of Kleschka Picks. Last week I went 12-4. That makes my record on the season 166-73. You may notice the setting is a little different than what we normally do on Kleschka Picks. I just felt like switching it up, making it a little bit more comfortable. There is no Thursday game this week, but we do have tons of football, and we're getting started with the Rams and Ravens. The Ravens were absolutely owned by Christmas JoJo over here. Dude went absolutely nuts. And then the Rams, they played the Vikings. Matthew Stafford did not have a good game, and if they played any great elite team, they probably would have lost that game. But since they were playing the Vikings, after all those mistakes, they were still able to hold on. Baltimore this week, they have been going downhill for the last couple weeks due to injury, due to COVID. And the Rams, even though they had a struggle last week, look like they're starting to find themselves from the beginning of the season. And I do think that Cooper Kupp really wants to break that receiving yards record held by Calvin Johnson. So expect him to get the ball a lot and maybe save some people in a fantasy championship this week. I think the offense for the Rams goes nuts. I think the defense stays strong and causes the the Ravens offense to struggle. And I think the Rams win 27-17. Eagles and football team. The Eagles got to win over the Giants last week. They performed well. And you had the football team who got absolutely destroyed. You thought if the Ravens were embarrassed by Joe Burrow and his game, what happened to the football team from the Cowboys is a completely different story. And this week, I think Jalen Hurts continues to roll, and I think the football team is just gonna fall for the rest of the season. So give me the Eagles beating the football team 24-13. Colts and Raiders. The Colts beat the Cardinals last week. That was a good statement game for them. Their defense stepped up, caused Kyler Murray to struggle, and the Raiders, they were able to get a victory over the Broncos. This week, the Colts will be without Carson Wentz. He did get COVID, and they will have to rely on Jonathan Taylor a lot, I assume, and this will be a huge test to his MVP candidacy and how he will perform without Carson Wentz. So I'm excited to see that, and I expect Jonathan Taylor to put the load on his back, the defense to step up, make the Raiders struggle, and I think the Colts can still win, honestly, and I think they win 27-24. Falcons and Bills. The Falcons beat the Lions last week, and the Bills beat the Patriots in a game that did not have extreme, terrible weather conditions. And the Falcons, they are at the bottom of the league. The Bills are surrounded by so much good talent, and their defense is stepping up. Josh Allen, I expect to step up, have a great game against this poor defense. Look for Stephon Diggs and his tight ends and other wide receivers, and I think it's going to be a big offensive day for Buffalo, and I think they beat Atlanta 31-10. Chiefs and Bengals. The Chiefs beat the Steelers last week. They have had to change their game this season. We haven't really seen a lot of bombs downfield from Patrick Mahomes. It's been a lot of check down passes, but they've learned to make that work, and the Kansas City defense has also improved this year. The Bengals, they got a victory last week. Joe Burrow went crazy, best game of his career, over 500 passing yards, and the reason I am not in the fantasy championship. So thanks, Joe Burrow. With the defense of the Chiefs being better than it has been in the past years, the past weeks, I think that is huge, and Patrick Mahomes hasn't really had the big struggles that he was facing earlier in the season. Even though that Bengals offense is scary and it can explode at any moment, I think the Chiefs, just because of their defense stepping up late in the season, will claim victory, and I think the Chiefs win 34-30. Giants and Bears. The Giants lost to the Eagles last week. The Bears, they beat my Seahawks, which broke my poor, sad little heart. And the Giants defense, not gonna lie, it can step up at times. It can surprise you. And the Bears offense is known to struggle, but when Montgomery is there, I feel like they're better. It helps Justin Fields, and I think the Giants are going to be a problem, but I don't think it's going to be enough to where they'll secure the victory, mainly due to their lack of offense. So I think the Bears got this one. I think they win 23-13. Jaguars and Patriots. The Patriots lost to the Bills last week. The Jaguars lost to the Jets. The Patriots have been known to have one of the better defenses this season. The Jaguars really can't get much going. They lost James Robinson. They're not going to have him for the rest of the season. And the defense of the Patriots is going to be way too strong for the Jaguars offense to compete with, in my opinion. opinion, Mac Jones should be able to handle the Jaguars defense pretty easily, and I think the Patriots win this game 26-10. Dolphins and Titans. The Dolphins, they have been hot lately. They won last week against the Saints. They really didn't have to do much. Their defense alone could have won them that game. And then you had the Titans, who won on a game-winning field goal against the 49ers. They finally were like, hey, we have some pretty good wide receivers. Let's use them since we don't have Derrick Henry, and it paid off. But I really don't know, because the Miami defense has also been pretty solid. It's going to be a good matchup, and this could go either way. But I am going with the Dolphins based on their hot streak. Their defense has been pretty good, and I think Tua can get the job done. And I feel like Tennessee can jump right back into a struggle at any moment. So give me Miami winning 24-20. Buccaneers and Jets. The Buccaneers, they beat the Panthers last week. They returned to form after the loss they took to the Saints. And the Jets, they won. Zach Wilson, also great guy. He was at a restaurant. This mom recognized him, said her son loved her, and he got them tickets for the game, and they won. Awesome, Zach Wilson. But you could play better on the field. Even though last week was good for you. But this week, you're probably going to have a tough time against a good Tampa Bay defense, and Tom Brady and that offense is absolutely stacked, especially when they're playing your team. So let's just get right to the chase. I think Tampa Bay wins 37-10. Broncos and Chargers. The Broncos lost to the Raiders last week. The Chargers lost to the Texans. And Liza Koshy swears she is the reason why the Texans won. It could have been Simone Biles too. She was also there. I don't know, Chargers. What is your deal? It's like you love making your fans, the few amount that you have, just feel the absolute worst pain being your fan. I think they will return to form this week. The Denver defense is solid, but that Chargers offense can explode. I've seen it with my own eyes in person. And the Denver offense, they're probably going to be without Teddy Bridgewater this week, so it's going to be a tough break. And I think that the Chargers are going to return offensively, and their defense will probably allow a good amount of points, but I still think the Chargers will come out on top, winning 30-20. 49ers and Texans. The 49ers, they lost a tough one to the Titans last week, and the Texans somehow pulled off that victory against the Chargers. Probably some voodoo magic, if you ask me. And I don't think the Texans have that kind of magic 2 weeks in a row. The 49ers are a good team, and when you got Debo involved in the mix, they're a better team. So Debo's there, he's good, he's healthy, and I think that the 49ers will have a nice healthy victory over the Texans 27-14. Cardinals and Cowboys. The Cardinals lost to the Colts last week. I don't know what is up with them lately. All they've been doing is struggling. Kyler Murray has not looked good. And then the Cowboys,
they absolutely destroyed the football team.
Dak Prescott had a solid game. The defense was performing as usual, and I think that'll be the case this week. I think the defense is going to be one of the toughest defense Arizona has faced recently, and I think they're going to struggle even more than we've seen them doing, and I think Dak Prescott is going to have himself a solid game, because right now Arizona just looks like they are on the wrong path. So give me the Cowboys winning the battle defensively, offensively, and overall. 31-23. Seahawks and Lions. My Seahawks lost to the Bears last week. It has been such a painful season for us, and I feel like it's going to be an even more painful offseason. The Lions, they lost to the Falcons. This week, if we cannot beat the Lions, throw this whole season away. I already feel that way, but it'll be confirmed if we lose to the Lions. That would be absolutely embarrassing. Russell Wilson, please save us. Don't lose to the Lions. I think we are a better team than the Lions offensively and defensively, so I feel like we should be able to get this done. I think Seahawks win 24-17. Panthers and Saints. I'm going to go quickly through this one. The Panthers have faced a lot of problems offensively this season, and the Saints have essentially been dealt the same hand. They are getting their quarterbacks back from COVID, and I think that'll help them. So let's just say it right here. I think the Saints are going to beat the Panthers 23-17. Packers and Vikings. The Packers, they were able to hang on against the Browns last week for a victory, and the Vikings, they lost to the Rams. The Vikings have got a few wins this year, playing mediocre football, and the other team just not competing with them. That will not be the case against Green Bay. You play mediocre football, Aaron Rodgers is absolutely going to destroy you. So I think that'll be the case this week. I expect the offense for Green Bay to go nuts, and I don't think the Vikings are going to be able to stop him or keep up with him. So I think Green Bay wins 30-20. Steelers and Browns. The Steelers, they lost to the Chiefs last week. If Ben Roethlisberger is still the quarterback of this team by next year, then the world is absolutely broken. And if the Steelers still want to hang on to him, they are insane. The Browns, they lost to the Packers, but they had a win in their lap. And of course, Baker Mayfield threw an interception on a game-winning drive. They had so much time, the timeouts and everything, and he blew it. I don't think that'll be the case this week. TJ Watt just can't seem to stay healthy for the Steelers defense. The Steelers offense is not going to be able to reach its full potential with all these young players if Ben Roethlisberger is the quarterback. I feel like his time has come, and I feel like we see a better offensive display from the Browns this week, and I think their defense will be able to get the job done, especially Myles Garrett. So, give me the Browns winning 24-14. If you made it to the end of this video, Kleschka crew, then I want you to comment 2022. Here we come. Also, let me know if you like this setup or the one when I'm back there. Like the video, subscribe, tell your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, your pets, your friends, your brother, your sister, your aunt, and uncle, everybody you know to subscribe if they haven't already. I got this, you got this, we all got this, and I will see you next time. Bye.